Lyre of the Lion by TheNightNinja2. Chapter 17. Easing the Pressure. The moment the first crack appeared, Mirabelle climbed onto the roof to head towards the candle, ignoring her sliced open palm. "Out of the frying pan and into the fire," she muttered. The candle looked like it was going to go out when the crack suddenly vanished. Mirabelle took the candle and looked at it. It seemed lower to her, and the magic felt weaker. Then she could feel its magic reaching through her, as if desperately trying to grab hold of the Narnian magic left in her. She gently pushed a small amount of residual Narnian magic through her hands and into the candle, stabilizing it for now. She then went into the nursery and changed into her nightclothes. She sighed, not used to sleeping without Antonio near her. The sounds of the party were still going on, making it harder to sleep. She hated parties when she wasn't wanted at them. There was a knock on the door. "Come in," Mirabelle said. "Mind if I join you? It's just way too loud out there, and something about the nursery makes it quiet," said Dolores. "Sure. But I thought you'd prefer your soundproof room," asked Mirabelle. "Well, I also wanted to talk to you. Senora Guzman and Abuela have been talking about Mariano beginning a courtship with you, and don't seem to be looking for your opinion." "Do you love him?" asked Dolores. "Yes, I love him, Lola. But it's hard not to fall in love with him. But I have already said no to him twice, and he understands my reasons. I am not trying to steal the man of your dreams, Lola, but you really need to get to know him and make him notice you. Whatever Abuela tries to pull, I'll handle it. But men can be so dumb and blind when a girl obviously likes them. You can't expect him to just wake up and notice you. You need to pull his attention to you," said Mirabelle. "How, though?" asked Dolores. "Join us when we watch Louisa's sword fight. I could even teach you archery if you'd like," said Mirabelle. "I'm not good with sharp things," said Dolores. "Oh, right, you're worse than Peppa and Augustine when they attempted to make Julieta breakfast in bed. Blood is so hard to get out of stone," said Mirabelle. "I'd be more than willing to just watch you teach Louisa," said Dolores. "It might be a bit loud, since it will be metal on metal," warned Mirabelle. "It's okay. I'll be able to handle it," said Dolores. "There's something else too. Something I personally don't care that much about, but it will affect the rest of the madrigals," said Mirabelle. "What is it?" asked Dolores. "The candle nearly went out. The only part I care about is that Casita was cracking. Something is tearing the family apart, and I have a pretty good guess as to what. But I can't do anything except mitigate the damage, which I've been doing for years." Dolores looked frightened for a moment, before thinking, "I almost always hate my gift, Mira. Losing the magic would be no loss to me personally, except for losing Casita. The rats have been scurrying around the walls more often, like they're worried. And I've kept this a secret for 10 years. But you need to know. Tio Bruno never left. He's hiding in the walls," said Dolores. "Lola, if the stories about his gift are true, I very much doubt they are. But we can't take the risk with this. Then, even if we ask for a prophecy, we'll get one that we inevitably must change. Let's leave Tio out of this, for now. I've somewhat stabilized the candle, but we need to start changing the madrigal dynamic," said Mirabelle. "How did you stabilize the candle?" asked Dolores. "Magic, Lola. You madrigals may think I don't have any, but ask anyone in town, and they'll say otherwise," said Mirabelle. "Mira, you keep referring to the family as if you aren't one of us," said Dolores. "If I'm not treated as part of the family, then I see no reason to count myself as one of them. Only Luisa and Antonio are my family. And you, if I can trust you," said Mirabelle. "But what about your parents?" asked Dolores. "Maybe if they actually included me in family things, instead of just assuring me I was family. But words are empty without actions to back them up," said Mirabelle. Dolores saw Mirabelle's hand. "Mira, your palm. What happened?" asked Dolores, concerned. "I picked up a fallen tile and it cut me," It's no big deal. It'll heal when I eat breakfast tomorrow. Suddenly, Louisa barged in, breathing heavily. Lulu, what's wrong? Asked Mirabelle.
Everyone keeps asking me when I'm going to do this or that, and they cornered me. I had to get away. It was just too much. I lied and said I was going to get a drink, then I rushed here, panted Louisa.
Casita, please lock the door, said Mirabelle urgently. The house complied. Lou, you need to tell them no. I'll handle any shit Abuela gives you, but you have to set boundaries, said Mirabelle.
I know, but it's so hard,
said Louisa. Quickly, Mirabelle switched to English. Right after Antonio talked to the toucan, him, Mariano, and I were pulled into Narnia. I fought another fucking civil war, and I'm exhausted. Casita is cracking, the candle is dying. I can't fight this alone, Lou. You have to start speaking for yourself, or you will end up like Julieta, said Mirabelle.
What do I do? Asked Louisa.
I'll stay with you tomorrow, and if you are asked to do something ridiculous, you say no. I'll give you a look if it's an unreasonable request, said Mirabelle.
What if they complain to Abuela?
Said Louisa. I'll be in my armour, hand on the hilt of my sword. They won't say a word, said Mirabelle. Morning came and they all sat at the table, Abuela rambling on about Mariana's proposal of courtship to Mirabelle, and then asked Dolores if they had a date. Tonight. Betrothal this summer. She didn't miss her cousin's eye roll at her smirk.
Oh, wonderful. I'm rather surprised he never showed interest in our perfect Isabella, said Abuela.
Maybe because he's not into shallow puppets of old women who don't know when to keep their noses out, muttered Mirabelle.
Dolores almost choked on her food.
I will be heading into town with Louisa today. There are things I must attend to, said Mirabelle. Abuela pursed her lips, eyeing the sword at Mirabelle's hip, and finding it best not to say anything. La Familia Madrigal, affirmed everyone, except Mirabelle and Antonio. Mirabelle followed Louisa into town. The larger girl was nervous about saying no to people, but her sister at her side gave her a little more confidence. Louisa was asked to move the church somewhere sunnier, but a look from Mirabelle told her this was ridiculous.
Father, with all due respect, it is rather inconvenient for the town to have church somewhere new all the time. So unfortunately, I'm going to decline your request, said Louisa, being respectful. Of course, I did not consider that. Some people do arrive late, if the church isn't in the same place as it was last time. Gracias for pointing that out, Señorita Madrigal, said the pastor. As they walked, Louisa let out a breath she didn't know she'd been holding in. That was hard, she whimpered.
Louisa, could you reroute the river? Asked a woman. Another look from Mirabelle.
Signora, with respect, if I keep rerouting the river, then the soil will become unstable and could flood the fields. I think it would be best to keep letting it flow where it is.
Dios mío! I didn't think about the soil or flooding. It is no problem, Louisa, said the woman.
Louisa, the donkey's got out again, exclaimed the farmer.
This time Mirabelle spoke up. What if we fixed the fence? That way they wouldn't keep doing this. Granted, it will take some time, but the animals are your responsibility. Shouldn't you be the one to contain them when they escape? Asked Mirabelle.
Oh, a new fence would be wonderful. Gracias, Mirabelle. And you are correct. The donkeys are my responsibility. They need to learn I'm their master, said the farmer. Louisa, my home is leaning to the...
This was not a ridiculous request, so Louisa kicked it back into place.
Gracias, Louisa, said the man.
Saying no got easier when the people were understanding of the reason she was saying no. The two sisters got to the barn and began fixing the fence on the donkey pen, switching to English to speak.
So you said last night that you got to go back to Narnia,
said Louisa. Yes, turns out it's been over 1,000 years since the time my siblings and I ruled, and there was an invasion centuries ago by people called Talmarines. Anyway, the prince's father was killed by his uncle, who usurped the throne, and the prince reunited with the magical creatures of Narnia and went to war to reclaim the throne for Narnia. He had gotten his hands on my sister Susan's horn that, if blown, would summon help no matter how far away. That is what called me, Antonio, Mariano, and my brothers and sisters back to Narnia. Tonito had lots of fun with the Minyards and Dryads, and his tias, said Mirabelle.
Minyards? Wait, you got to meet Dionysus?
asked Louisa. Bacchus, but yes. By the line, I've never been so drunk in my life, laughed Mirabelle.
You've gotten drunk before?
asked Louisa. At least once a week as a princess. Parties and balls and feasts were my speciality. And I tended to wake up in strange parts of the castle with bad hangovers, said Mirabelle.
It's easy to forget you're 15 years older than you look,
said Louisa. You should ask Antonio about his time with the Minyards and Dryads. I was busy fighting in the war, said Mirabelle.
Where is Antonio anyway?
asked Louisa. Helping Peppa get the pests out of the fields. She asked if she could spend some time with him today, and Antonio and I agreed, said Mirabelle.
This prince? Well, probably king now. Is he cute?
Lou, I never thought you'd ask about boys, laughed Mirabelle.
There's a lot you don't know about me. For example, I have a hidden shelf on my bookshelf. When I pull out a certain book, it appears. It's full of dirty romance novels. Dolores and I read them from time to time. Apparently there's a whole bunch of things that, according to her, no one in the village, not even her parents, have tried yet, asked Louisa.
Mirabelle grinned. Oh, I believe it. Susan was more interested in the stories from the minstrels than Lucy was. But the tales of tavern exploits were part of my education as I got older, giggled Mirabelle. Both girls dissolved into giggles.
Are you excited for tonight? asked Louisa.
Lou, Abuela never asked me if I wanted to court Mariano. Neither did Signora Guzman. I love the guy a lot, but you know my age, both physical and mental, and my position as Narnia's princess. I just can't be with him. He understands and has come to accept my rejection. If both old women are bothered to ask, then they would know. I intend to make my position clear tonight, said Mirabelle.
I figured as much. You don't seem thrilled this morning about it, so I figured Abuela was sticking her nose in something again, said Louisa.
I did kiss him in Narnia, said Mirabelle.
What?
exclaimed Louisa. He was fretting about the battle, and I kissed him to ease his mind. Then we got into an argument the next day. But if Dolores would pluck up the courage to ask him out, Abuela would still have the union of the families like she wants, said Mirabelle.
Would have been funnier if you married him and then he took the last name Pevensey instead of Madrigal, laughed Louisa.
Oh, there would have been a two-person riot. Dolores could hear her cousins talking in what she assumed was English. They were giggling quite a bit about something.
What are you going to do about the cracks?
asked Louisa. Try to save the miracle, but only to save Casita. The gifts can be damned, said Mirabelle.
Mira, I don't know who I am without my strength,
said Louisa. That's why the gifts aren't blessings. They're more a curse than anything, said Mirabelle.
But I like my strength,
said Louisa. Even though it puts a lot of pressure on you? asked Mirabelle.
People do that, not my gift. It makes me feel safe.
I'll do what I can, said Mirabelle.
Maybe you should start with Tio Bruno's tower. He had a vision before he disappeared. Maybe that could point you in the right direction, said Louisa.
No, I know what's causing it. The problem is making the bitch open her eyes to the pain she is causing, said Mirabelle.
Good luck. Age makes people stubborn, said Louisa.
Oh, I know, said Mirabelle. Soon the fence was done, and Mirabelle made sure Louisa ate lunch.
The sky is cloudy. I wonder why Tia is upset,
said Louisa. Who knows? As long as Antonio isn't running away scared out of his wits, I wouldn't be too worried, said Mirabelle. Thunder boomed and lightning cracked.
Mira, isn't Tia scared of snakes?
asked Louisa. Yeah, why? said Mirabelle.
Snakes hunt rodents, rodents like the fields. What if Antonio employed a few slithery friends to help? said Louisa.
Oh my, yeah, that could be a problem. Come on, said Mirabelle, and the two girls ran towards the fields. End of chapter. Hi guys, hope you enjoyed this one. Okay, so we're getting into the betrothal / courtship proposal, even though Mariano knows not to ask now. So there'll be a confrontation there. I like that they speak in English because they both know it and Dolores can't understand it. That's a nice touch.
I love how Louisa is being so understanding about Narnia. And I like that she likes romance as well.
I've said this in previous videos, but I love how feminine Louisa is despite her strength. Beautiful way of writing a character. You can be both, after all. Anyway, you guys know the drill. Like, comment and subscribe and hit that bell to get notified for whenever I upload a new video. Have a good day, night, or whatever time zone you're in. Bye my guys, gals and non-binary pals. I'll see you in another video. Take care, okay? Bye!